Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Front Mission First. As we continue chasing after Ryuji's slimeball of a brother who has killed his own father and appears to be the mastermind behind the whole harvest human brains to make biocomputers to run wanzers plot. So, we'll be chasing him to this island whose name I have forgotten. Could be the final mission. Feels a little final mission-y. I think this might be mission 30, which is also a nice round number to be the final one. Oh, it looks like an evil factory. Right, they were saying that there was some, like, evil country that was behind all of this. What country is that, I wonder? Looks like even Reiji was... Ryuji's brother, was his father. Anyway, looks like even he fears those he answers to. Oh, he's being disposed of. Okay, Koichi, that was his name. Right, his name pops right up. Oh, this is a big map. I mean, you think that it would be noticed on satellite feeds or something, but... Alright, well this is certainly a very... Oh, I can bring everybody? Well, okay. This is certainly a very atmospheric place to have a final mission. There we go. Including people I have not upgraded in any way, shape, or form, so... I guess they'll probably each take one attack for us, and that's about it. Wow, we've got chanting, we've got organs, we've got whatever the hell that thing is. Wow, that's a horror show. Had bad taste in art. Okay. So Koichi said something about frontline troops. Aha. Nope, that's my allies. Okay. There's a few of them, apparently. Not many. What in the world is this thing? Driscoll? Is Driscoll in that thing? In the... however the heck you say that. Ha. Huh. So you're not dead after all, Driscoll. You've been turned into a cyborg. Is Russia the evil country behind all of this? I'm just guessing that by the fact that this thing has a Russian name, but who knows, it could be anything. Regardless, right now we have more important things to worry about, like killing Koichi and putting a stop to this. Although apparently we're not really going to be putting a stop to it, are we? If the country that funded all this research in the first place already has their own S device. Yeah, this is a very atmospheric place to have the final mission. It's pretty cool. As atmospheric as it is, we are once again having The opening turns being just closing the distance to our opponents. Seems a little unnecessary if there's no opposition this entire way. You'd think for the sake of pacing they could just start us a little closer, but that's alright. That's pretty nitpicky, so we'll let that go. So what happened to Olsen? Did we actually kill him at some point, or did he escape? The game is often not terribly clear with the fate of enemies whose mechs you destroy. Okay. So what are we up against here? Eldos. They're level 30. They have FV-24Bs and Firebirds. I think, are those that I'm currently using? The FB-24 whatever? Well, not at range. At range, I'm going to be throwing donkeys at them. Yeah, that is what I'm using. That Gatling gun. Alright, Frederick can get off an attack as well. Just got his legs. Oh, more enemies coming from that direction. Nice shot, May. I think Hans is close enough to fire off a shot too. Yeah. I'll bet he can get the finish. Oh, maybe not. Not if it's at full health. Nope. Oh, you can get real close to the enemies. Gregorio. I mean, you're one of my weakest pilots, so I don't necessarily want you to get real close to them. And he whiffed. Right, you aren't equipped. Your wanzers are all kind of a joke. Well, not Yihins. But the rest of this group. You're just along so you can feel like you participated. Actually, they might focus him down. And I might actually want to keep him around, so let's not put him right in the line of fire quite so aggressively. Oh man, Gregorio, you missed. That was so close to being really good and then you whiffed. Oh, melee. Melee, it's so bad. Okay, well, that was one of my throwaway characters anyway. If they just take hits for me, that's great. Alright. You took a hit for me, so I'm happy. May do better than Gregorio, at least. Well, He stunned him and took out an arm, so hey, that was something. Okay. There's an enemy missileer, an attacker, and more incoming. Oh yeah, let's turn this view on. Okay, and they're all full strength. And this is on the western edge of things. Let's send others forward before Royd. Take down the missileer first if you can. If I can, I'll give the kill on Koichi to Ryuji. Okay, that was a whiff. Can you do better, Natalie? And these things have even more hit points than my wanzers. They're very well equipped. I think I can kill that guy at will. He's so low that, actually, let's use the snipers and try to pick off some enemies. Paul, if you can... Well, he won't one-shot him. He's got too many hit points. But him and Hans together might. Oh, so close. Well, in that case, how do we want to do this? Keith, can you get the finishing blow on him? I would love to just take him out. Nope, you whiffed. This is unfortunate. Can anybody else even get close enough? Well, JJ, take this guy out. I don't want to completely neglect what's going on over here either. Gregorio, you might be able to take this guy down. I'll give you the chance to try. Oh, you got the legs, and you stunned him, and then you got the body. Well done. I'm running out of useful characters to go this turn. Royd might be able to kill that guy. Can you do 209 damage in one shot? Looks like he doesn't even have to get that close, and I don't want to put him in range of too many enemies. I don't think he can do that much damage with one shot. No. Still continuing to weaken him. And Frederick might be able to get the kill. Go for it, Frederick. Ah, so close. And both his arms are nearly destroyed. I missed that little detail. May, can you pick up the kill? This is where I wish I was using missiles that fired more than once. You did it! Nice work. Clutch, May. Alder, come forward just to be a target, basically. And you can launch a missile, but it's so outdated, I doubt it'll do much. Oh, I stand corrected. That wasn't completely worthless. Molly, do you even have any weapons? Okay, kind of. You don't have any long-range ones, though. Yiheen does. Yiheen's actually useful. Yiheen might be able to pick up the kill on this guy. And he sure did. Nice work. Now, the rest of this is just a dumpster crew. Even if they attack, they won't accomplish anything, so I'm just going to have them attract the attention of that enemy. They'll be targets for it. Ralph might be able to do something if he gets lucky. I'll have him try. I may regret this. Oh, he survived that hit. Stunned the enemy and doubled him. Okay, good job, Ralph. Nice. And now Gents. See what you can do. No, wake him up and get your arm destroyed is what you can do. Oh, here comes Koichi to join the fight. Dazer Claw's on the right arm, which might get taken out, so punch him with the Noomsakar. Oh, you got first anyway. Stun that immediately wears off, proving its uselessness. I mean, it's not completely useless, but it's so unreliable. Ralph survives. And gives him a little love tap back. And Alder gets one-shotted. You probably should think about retiring, Alder. Alright, May took out the arm, and then doubled twice and killed him. Nice job, May. I give Melee a lot of crap, and I think it's deserved, but it does seem like the weakest of the three attack types, but it's not actually completely worthless. Sometimes it really comes through like it did there. The Growning. Okay. I'm guessing that thing's really deadly. So let's try to take it out from range. Usual protocol with enemies like that. Is that in range? Yeah, it is. Alright, start taking him down. Should I just go for the body? Probably. Dang, missed. Okay, that was a hit, and it did over half his HP and damage with one shot. That was awesome. Karunga, get out of the way so the Ihin can take this guy out. Well, he tried. Ralph might just immediately die, or he might actually take him down. Okay. Well, neither of those things happened. Your turn to show us your power gets. Nope. Dumpster Squad struggling mightily to kill even a single opponent, as you would expect. Let's keep trying to focus down Koichi, I think. I'm just guessing. Oh, if I can get the kill here with Ryuji, that is thematically perfect. Do it, Ryuji. Oh, so close. I guess I'll let you live, because I want Ryuji to be the one to take you out, so you get to live one more turn. Which means let's focus down this enemy here. Yeah, Natalie, just machine gun him to death. Almost. Took some slightly bad return fire, but... Alright, Frederick cleans up. Now, since I'm doing a little bit of a reprieve, may start repairing. Take a shot at this guy, Royd. Nice. Oh yeah, I actually don't want anybody... Well, you know, even though story-wise that would be perfect, tactically the right calls to kill him. Fine, I'll do the tactically right thing. I'll do it. Get out of here, Koichi. Zaftra. Okay. So a made-up country, I see. And then Driscoll finishes him off. Driscoll has been turned into some kind of horrifying cyborg creature. A fitting fate, considering his deeds. Maybe we'll finally put a permanent end to him now. Is Driscoll all that's left? Nope, this guy. Alright, Gregorio. This is your big chance to be a hero. Oh, you stunned him. I guess I can send the dumpster squad forward as scouts to see what Driscoll's giant skeleton mech is capable of. Except that they're so far back. That's not really going to work. Finish him, Gregorio. Finish him. No, you woke him up. But you didn't die or anything. Good grief. Who should I send back to deal with him? Natalie? This one guy who just won't die because he's fighting a melee attacker is too annoying. Please finish him. Thank you, Natalie. Now it should really be only Driscoll left. Alright, everyone charge. So, is this the final boss? Sure seems like it. Has very final boss energy. Still just sitting there and staring at me and being creepy. Can I get a closer look at it? I mean, it definitely looks like it has a skull face. It's quite horrifying. Oh, it does have some red eyes under there. If anything, it would almost be creepier if it didn't have any eyes. There's always something really creepy about a creature with no eyes. Just think of the xenomorphs. I think they would actually be a lot less creepy if they did have eyes. But anyway. I should check. What kind of weapons did it say this thing has? I don't... Okay, it's a machine gun. With range 1, does he have no ranged weapons? If so, that's kind of an oversight. Being immobile and having no weapons that can shoot at range is not the best design. As we gradually get into range. Okay, can we finally get in range to attack this thing? Somebody, please. Ryuji, excellent. Alright, let's see what you got. Driscoll in the... I don't know how to say that because I don't know how to pronounce Russian. Or Cyrillic characters, rather. So they didn't just use your brain, you kept your eyes, I see. Oh, actually, I was reading that as, I was visually parsing that as all just being a completely robotic shell, but it isn't. That bluish stuff is his severely scarred flesh. You have turned into a disgusting thing, Driscoll. Okay, so you were always a member of, what was it called, Zaftria? This made-up country. I'm inclined to agree. In fact, I agree entirely, Royd. Let us destroy this abomination. Imagine willingly turning yourself into that horror show. Driscoll, you are messed up. And also apparently incapable of fighting back. It looks really creepy from the top. It looks a little more cartoony when you see it from below with its big glowy red eyes. This is kind of almost anticlimactic. Since this thing has no ranged weapons, it has no way to fight back. It's great on atmosphere. Less great on actually being a challenging final opponent. It's a little similar to the 64th in that way. I'm a little worried about killing it now. I want Royd to be the one to kill it. I think Royd has already had his turn. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and... There we go, end player phase. You just sit there looking creepy. You know what to do, Royd. end this abomination with your next attack. I almost want to feed someone to this thing to see how powerful its attack is and what it looks like. Okay. I found the sacrifice. I want to see what it can do. It feels disrespectful to just kill it without getting to see its attacks. Who's that in the way? May. There we go. Alright, let's see what you got, Driscoll. Wait, end? She just can't attack it. I assume it can attack her. I thought she was gonna attack it. That's why, once again, I just completely on reflex hit the button. And didn't realize I was ending her turn. I thought I was going to be selecting attack. Oh, she's one space too far away from it. She couldn't quite get there. Which means it can't attack her either. Okay, here we go. It's time for real. This is better. Okay. Show us what you got. Okay, it just, it fires a Gatling gun from its belly. Alright. Honestly, kind of less epic than I was hoping for. Roy, just end this. Oh. Okay, he had his old mech stored inside the giant skeleton mech. Okay. Multi-stage final boss. 11 DS. Is that what he had before? Well, regardless, we've got everybody here, so let's tear him apart. You know, you never have ranged weapons, Driscoll. This seems like a really bad tactical error on your part. No matter how badass you are, if you have no ranged weapons, you have such a glaring weakness. There we go. So much for that arm. Almost one-shotted the body. Let's get that other arm and render him helpless. You whiffed, Paul. You whiffed. Maybe I should disable the legs. Okay, my two snipers whiffed completely. Let's offer some sacrifices so he doesn't just beeline for Royd and get a lucky one-hit kill or some nonsense. And Yiheen also whiffs. There we go. No need to worry about that now. I didn't even mean to select guard. Okay. Oh, you had stun level 3. I don't think you had that before. The last time I looked, you only had, like, speed or something. You have stun and speed now. I see. Okay. I think Royd should be able to one-shot the body with only 122 hit points. And it's over. Finally, Royd takes revenge for Karen and all the other lives destroyed by this scum. Somebody just finish this guy off finally, please. Good order. Good decision. And then salt the earth. Looks like we have cleared the campaign. Meldivsky. So that's the cover-up story, huh? Yes, a great achievement that they suicided themselves, which actually didn't even happen. As usual, the information put out by the authorities is complete BS. Seems about right. Some of these cutscenes are a little low budget. Like, some of them look pretty cool, but these silhouettes are a little sloppily done. So, Keith and JJ going their separate ways? Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're sticking together. I guess they are. Yeah, later, Keith. And JJ, thanks for all the help. You stuck with me through everything. Except for that brief moment where you didn't, but we'll set that aside. And yeah, wow, Ryuji's got it rough. Pretty understandable. Not to mention, aren't we still officially considered terrorists by the authorities? Well, it's a shame, Ryuji, but good luck. And thanks for everything. It's not Nathalie, it's Natalie. I was wondering if Natalie was going to stick by Royd's side, but it looks like she's out of here too. I guess she accepted that her feelings will forever be unrequited. Kinda sad. Ah, that's who it was who was kneeling off to the side like a ninja. If this were a dating sim, would being stuck with Gens at the end be the bad end? Oh, but Royd shoots Gens down. Gens took his helmet off, but it's all black silhouettes, so we don't actually get to see what his face looks like. What a tease. So what's this last thing you need to do, Royd? He just blew something up. Was that his Wanzer with Karen in it? Did he commit suicide? Was he also in it? How am I supposed to interpret that? Oh, don't do that. There we go. Alright, good old Frederick exposing the truth. Good job, buddy. A little bit of a quixotic quest, perhaps, but good luck. A very dark and melancholy ending to a game with a dark and melancholy plot. I still don't know how to interpret that part with Royd. I still wonder if the interpretation is he blew up his Wanzer with himself and Karen's CPU in it. I suppose after this episode I can look it up on a wiki or something, see if that's left vague or if anything else in the front mission canon answers that a little more authoritatively. Because I am curious. Alright, credits roll. I guess it's review time. Even though we are not necessarily done with the game, because there's another entire campaign to go and also some bonus mercenary missions. Nonetheless, main campaign done, I'm going to do a review. So, long story short, game is very solid. It's very enjoyable, turn-based, grid-based mecha action. It's a good, old-school tactical strategy RPG with a near sci-fi kind of flavoring. It has its downsides. It's not perfect. The balance feels a little wonky. If you spend a bit of time arena farming and grinding, you can seemingly make your team really overpowered to the point where the last string of missions in the game felt really easy. Even the final mission. The last mission that actually felt pretty challenging was the one where we returned to the factory and fight Driscoll for the second time. That one felt pretty tough. None of the ones after that felt very difficult. In fact, setting aside the final mission, which had great atmosphere, The missions where we were pursuing Ryuji's family, the Sakatas, after we defeated Driscoll for the second time, sort of the last leg of missions, started to drag a little bit. They started to feel a little repetitive. I was not enjoying them quite as much as I had enjoyed the rest of the game up until that point. And part of the reason for that is, like I said, they were quite easy, having spent enough time arena farming to be able to keep my squad in the best available equipment. And one of my biggest complaints about the game is that although there's good variety in the environments that you fight in, different kinds of wilderness, jungle, some desert, and urban environments, and military bases, and inside factories, that's all good. But in terms of your actual objectives and the overall flow of most of the missions, the variety is a little lacking. The objective of basically every mission in the game, I think, is just destroy all the enemy wanzers. Theoretically, there's occasionally missions where you're supposed to protect something or escort something, but that doesn't even seem to matter. Like the one mission where we were supposed to protect Reiji Sakata, Ryuji's dad, and his helicopter got shot down. The game didn't care. The mission didn't end in failure. So it was almost a false objective in that respect. And like every other mission, it was just destroy all the enemies. So yeah, that's maybe the biggest downside, is the repetitiveness of every single mission just being about killing all the enemies. Means it starts to feel kinda samey after a while. Before I continue my review, let's see if there's a post-credits cutscene or anything. It's taking its time. There is. Oh, is that Royd? It's the Shrike's colors, so it could be Royd in that white and black Wanzer. I'm guessing this is a cutscene. I'm gonna be surprised if it's an actual mission. It is Gensen Royd, isn't it? Yep, okay. So Royd didn't commit suicide. There was that big explosion, though, so did he just destroy his Wanzer with Karen in it? Is that how to interpret that there? Oh, who's coming to our aid? Oh, it's our old friends. They faked us out when they were all going their separate ways. They all decided to rejoin us and protect Huffman Island after all. Okay, so the dark and melancholy ending is becoming a little more upbeat. Ending on a little bit more of a hopeful note after all. Apparently he did forget that. I've got munchies too. Of course you do, Pee-wee. I got a Burin. With 999 hit points, what the heck? Is this something that I can use in other playthroughs or something? And what is it exactly, a mobile weapon? That's a lot of hit points. Okay, well, I guess we'll save, yeah, this new game plus data, I suppose, is what it is. Okay, now that we're back on the title screen, time to continue my review. So I've basically reviewed the gameplay. I feel like I spent most of my time focusing on the downsides of the gameplay, but overall it was really good. It was a lot of fun. It's easier to talk about the things that could use improvement. But yeah, overall the gameplay was great. Oh yeah, there was one other gameplay thing to mention, which is another wonky balance thing, as I realized later in the playthrough, is that short and long weapon types are good and have really useful skills. The melee weapon type seems really underpowered compared to them. In theory, it seems like it could be good with first and double and stun, but you saw the performance of my melee specialists, Mei and Gregorio, and it just wasn't up to scratch. Like, you compare them to the incredible sniping abilities of Paul and Hans, or the absolute devastation my short-range specialists could cause, they just struggled a lot. So the attack types are not all equal. Melee just seems definitively worse than the other two. At least that was my experience. Now for the softer, what you might call the softer elements of the game, namely the story and the characters. The story is pretty cool. On the surface of it, it's just a semi-straightforward war story about a couple of fictional superpowers in the future fighting for control of an island. But underneath that, you get the deeper plot of the experimentation with harvesting people's brains to make supercomputers for wanzers, and setting aside the plausibility of that in terms of the just kind of theming of devaluing human life, dehumanizing people, treating people as disposable resources and commodities for the sake of war and industry, is certainly a theme that hits home. It had some good dramatic reveals, and it was presented pretty well. It was a pretty good story. It was pretty dark. That moment when we realize that Karen, it's too late to save her. She's been turned into a brain chip. And then the kind of freakish moment where Roy decides to install her chip in his Wanzer. That's all pretty good and effective stuff. And then there's the characterization, which is a little weaker, because the vast majority of the characters hardly get any development at all. Only sort of your original crew, Roy, Ryuji, Natalie, Frederick, Keith, and JJ, maybe a little bit with May, get much development at all, and even for most of them, it's pretty thin. Driscoll's a pretty effective bad guy. Koichi, kind of a cowardly slimeball in the end. You know, somebody you like to hate. Driscoll, also somebody you love to hate. So they served as effective villains. Olsen's betrayal, of course, makes us hate him as well. Olsen's thread feels a little incomplete, doesn't it? What happened to that guy? Did we even kill him? We satisfyingly finally got to see Driscoll and Koichi's fate, but it's still not even clear to me what happened to Olsen, whether we killed him or not. So the characterizations are not amazing. Like I said, most of the characters don't get much development. You don't get a deep sense of their personalities. You get a little bit. A lot of the side characters literally never say anything. Gregorio never got any lines. I mean, most of the optional characters never got any dialogue, which kind of makes sense because they're optional. But it also makes them feel kind of pointless. Especially because even if you missed all the optional characters, you'd still have a big enough roster to field the maximum amount all the way up until the very last mission. So the optional characters don't feel like they brought much to the table. But still, it's a mech war game, so the fact that characterization wasn't a strong point isn't something I'm really going to hold against it all that much. So with all of that taken into consideration, I would rate this game a solid 3 out of 4 stars. It was very good, but it had enough holding it back that I wouldn't put it in the sacred 4 out of 4 star category. Couple last items before we end this episode. Apparently I missed some secret missions. I thought the guide I was following would tell me about secret missions when they become available. It doesn't. It has them all in a separate part of the document that you have to reference separately from the main walkthrough, and I missed that. So there's a few secret missions in the game we never got because I didn't know what I had to do to get them, and my guide didn't tell me at the appropriate points in the walkthrough when they were coming up. And because I was trying to avoid spoiling myself by looking ahead, I didn't notice that. So that's unfortunate, but am I going to replay the whole campaign to grab the secret missions we missed? No. So we missed them. That's unfortunate. Life goes on. So the last item to address in this episode is... Oh wow, okay. So we can do a new game plus where we go through the game again with all of our skills and stocks, so that sounds like it would be really easy. I guess that's why you can beef up the enemy's hit points by massive percentages. That must be for New Game Plus. But anyway, the other remaining point is that there's an entire other campaign to do, the UCS side. Now, although I was starting to get a little fatigued, as I said, at the last string of missions in the game, because they were starting to feel pretty samey, and my team was so overpowered that it was just kind of easy. As I understand it, the UCS campaign is more challenging. It's more difficult. So I am probably going to do the UCS campaign as well. I'm not 100% promising it, but it's very likely. And hopefully the fact that we get all new characters and it's more challenging and we get new missions and so on will make it a fun experience, especially if I take a little bit of a recording break before I start on it to let my front mission batteries recharge a little bit. By the way, just one last thing I'll mention. When I was saying some of the art is a little on the sloppy side, and most of the character portraits are good, like I said, but a couple were kind of sloppy. I was also thinking of these campaign cards here. I know that some people are huge fans of Yoshitaka Amano's art and will want to string me up from a lamppost forever criticizing it, but I just don't think the art in these campaign cards is that good. Especially like here on the UCS side, you know how I was complaining about the major asymmetry in the faces and some of the character portraits? It's really blatant here too. And if you don't believe me, like take a screenshot, draw a vertical line down the middle of that face, and just horizontally mirror it, and you'll see how asymmetrical it is. It's just sloppy. There's just no reason for really high quality art to have mistakes like that. But I've never been the big fan of Yoshitaka Amano art that some people are. And if you love it, that's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Enjoy. But I'm not a huge fan, personally. It's just not a style that I really like. And it has sloppiness like that, as I said. But anyway, I've babbled on long enough. I enjoyed a great deal playing through the main campaign. It was a lot of fun, even if I did have some criticisms. And yeah, maybe I'll play through the other campaign too after I take a little bit of a... maybe even not even a very long recording break, maybe even just a short one, to recharge my batteries a little bit. And we'll see if the other campaign is different enough to keep things fun and fresh and interesting. So this is Dr. J signing off for now. Have a great one, everybody, and hopefully you'll join me for whatever I'm playing next, which might very well be more of this game. We'll see. Bye for now.